So Harvard University is richer than you may understand. Harvard has an endowment, it's not taxed, worth more than $40 billion. It's one of the richest private institutions in the world. It has more money than the GDP of almost every country in Africa. Despite having this much money, the second coronavirus hit, Harvard attempted to fire most of its unskilled, low-paid staff. Harvard is charging students full tuition to learn online, which isn't really learning at all. Then, and this just happened, Harvard recently attempted to get rich off a coronavirus tax break by encouraging alumni to donate to the school. Warren Cass went to Harvard. He went to Harvard Law School. He's the executive director of American Compass. And unlike a lot of Harvard graduates, he's pretty honest about his alma mater. We're happy to have him on tonight. Warren Cass, tell us what Harvard is doing exactly here.
Well, I just received the usual alumni email, and the subject was smart giving thanks to the CARES Act. And I thought it was going to be telling me, be sure to give a little extra to those in need locally this year. But it was actually tax planning advice for how I could take advantage of the CARES Act to make a larger gift than ever to Harvard and pay less taxes in the process. Apparently this is something that they and a lot of other quite wealthy institutions are pushing pretty hard.
So the CARES Act, of course, was written and presented to the rest of us as a way to help people suffering from the effects of the coronavirus lockdowns. But Harvard is trying to leverage this to get even richer. Do they need the money?
No, they definitely don't. As you mentioned, their endowment is above $40 billion. In fact, it went up more than $2 billion just this year. So with all of the struggling that you see going on, Harvard actually is better off than ever. As you mentioned, they're still collecting full tuition from all their students, even though they're not offering a full education. And now on top of that, they're hoping to vacuum up a little bit more, even as in their own operations, frankly, they haven't made a point of, I think, really attending to those in their own community who are in need.
So greed is a word that's fallen out of use, unfortunately, I've noticed. But I don't think there's any other way to describe this other than greed. This is greed.
Well, it's always puzzling to see the focus on raising money for these institutions that have more than they know what to do with, frankly. And, I think there's an argument that we want our universities to be teaching and to be investing in research. That's how we get the coronavirus vaccine. The problem, of course, is that that's not where most of the money at these universities are going. I mean, they've become these amusement park entitlements for kids, and a huge share end up with degrees, not at Harvard, but at a lot of places that aren't worth much. And then you look at what they spend their time on. I went to the alumni webpage, and the top stories were all about racial justice and an Ibram Kendi speech. He's the anti-racism guy, a Latinx gathering. And if you want to do those things with your own money, that's fine. But I'm not sure why we're giving people tax breaks to donate even more for that when they've already got $40 billion to spend on it if they want.
To teach some of the smartest kids in the country to hate the nation that made all of this possible. I'm wondering how long this kind of poison machine can continue, do you think?
I don't know. It was stunning, frankly, that the first thing you heard everyone talking about when it looked like Joe Biden had won the election was, well, let's hope, how much student loans can he forgive? How quickly can he forgive $50,000 of student loans? And I was sitting here wondering, well, why student loans? Why not auto loans? Why not mortgages if we're just waving people's debt away? And the reality is that a lot of folks in power have this weird idea of higher education as this kind of noble pursuit. When you look at what they're actually doing, they're sort of just as grubby a special interest as any other. And in a lot of ways, they're doing a particularly large amount of damage to our nation. And they're also doing a tremendous amount of harm to the prospects of so many young people who would be much better off on other pathways than spending a lot of money, taking on a lot of debt for degrees that don't even pay off in the long run.
That's exactly right. But they have one of the most powerful lobbies in Washington. Thank you for saying so. Warren Cass, great to see you tonight.
Good to see you.